Think about it for a second. Your smartwatch, your headphones, your speakers, maybe even your keyboard. Bluetooth is literally everywhere. It's woven itself so deeply into our daily lives, connecting our world without us even thinking about it. But have you ever actually stopped to wonder how it all, works?
I mean, it really does feel like it, right? You tap a button on your phone, and boom, music is suddenly streaming across the room to a speaker. It's seamless, it's instant, and yeah, it feels a lot like magic. But, as you've probably guessed, it's not. So let's pull back the curtain and really demystify the brilliant science behind it all.
Okay, so to really get how this all works, we've got to start with a super simple but really powerful idea.
Yep, that's it. Just for a second, forget all the techie jargon and just picture a virtual cord, an invisible wire stretching from your phone to your headphones. This is the big idea we're going to build everything else on top of. Simple, right? Okay, but for this invisible wire to actually work, it can't just be some signal floating in the air. The devices themselves have to be able to talk to each other. They need the right gear. So for that connection to happen, both of your devices, say your phone and your speaker, they have to have two things: a special Bluetooth chip and an antenna. Think of the chip as the brain, or maybe a super fast translator. It's encoding and decoding all your data. And the antenna? Well, that's what sends and receives it. You've done this a million times, I've done this a million times. When you set a speaker to be discoverable, it starts broadcasting these little "hey, I'm over here" signals. Your phone picks them up, shows you the name of the device, you tap pair, and bam. Just like that, you've plugged in that invisible wire and created a secure link. Now, that secure link you just made, it actually has a pretty cool technical name. You've just created your very own personal micro network. It's called a Piconet, and basically, it's your own little private bubble. A tiny network made of radio waves that are bouncing back and forth between your paired devices, carrying your music or your podcast or whatever.
And yeah, just to get this out of the way, that's Piconet. Not a net for catching a Pikachu. It's an easy mistake to make, but one is for your wireless data, and the other is for, well,
But here's what's so smart about this Piconet. It's designed to be short range, usually only about 15 meters or so, and that is 100% on purpose. I mean, can you imagine if the signals were too powerful? It would be total chaos with everybody's Bluetooth signals crashing into each other. This keeps your personal network, well, personal.
All right, so we've got the hardware, we've got our Piconet, but how does that signal stay so clear and so secure, even if you're in a crowded coffee shop? This is where the real genius of Bluetooth comes in.
Now, you'd probably think the connection just sits on one single radio frequency, right? But that would be a terrible idea. It'd be super vulnerable to interference from Wi-Fi routers, microwaves, you name it. Nope, Bluetooth does something way, way smarter.
Just look at this number for a second. 1600. What on earth could that be?
Okay, here it is. This is the secret sauce. The Bluetooth signal doesn't stay put. It performs this kind of secret dance, hopping between 79 different frequencies 1,600 times, every single second. This whole thing is called frequency hopping. And this crazy, constant hopping is exactly what makes the connection so rock solid. If one frequency or channel is noisy or has interference, who cares? The signal is only on it for a split second before it jumps to a clear one. Plus, this makes the signal incredibly secure. An outsider would have to guess the exact lightning-fast hopping pattern to even have a chance of listening in. So we've got this stable, super secure connection. But all that hopping, 1,600 times a second, you'd think that would just shred your battery, right? Well, actually, that brings us to the single biggest reason Bluetooth is, well, absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, even with all that complexity going on under the hood, this technology was built from day one to be unbelievably energy efficient. That short range and the way it sends data means it just sips power, which is exactly why we can have it in tiny little earbuds that somehow last for hours.
And this whole low power thing is opening the door to some pretty wild stuff for the future. Because the newer versions can stay in contact even when a device seems off. So you could have, a smart trash can that messages you when it's full, or even a smart toilet seat that sends an alert when it's been left up. The possibilities are kind of endless and, yeah, a little bit weird. Okay, so let's bring it all home. Let's pull all these different pieces together and just see how far we've come from that simple little idea we started with.
Remember where we started? With just a simple analogy, an invisible wire. But look what we know now. It's so much more than that. It's a low-power, incredibly secure signal that's literally dancing between frequencies 1,600 times a second, all inside your own personal network that you created, just by tapping a button.
So the next time you pop in your earbuds and hit play, you'll know what's really going on. It isn't magic happening in the air around you. It's the result of decades of brilliant, focused engineering, all designed to make our lives just that little bit easier.
And it really makes you wonder, right? As this technology just keeps getting more and more efficient and more powerful, what else are we going to connect with this invisible cord? What part of our world is going to go wireless next?